professional masters, looking here, one, let's say, innovation and entrepreneurship, then you would be required to do your master thesis. So that's a comprehensive research work, takes 1 semester to do that. Plus, it requires as well that you've done your internship and you submitted your internship report. So that actually internship comes first, internship report, and then that's followed by your master thesis. And then rest of the Europe don't do that, but we do that. You as well have to present your master thesis in front of the commission of the professors. So I don't know, they just want you to make
Oh
all
wow! So you
nervous
actually
and
you have to do
sweaty, and you
yeah,
have
you have to
5
do a thesis
professors.
defense. That's
Yeah,
pretty
that's
amazing.
well, yeah, I've done it myself a couple of times. It's quite unpleasant, I must say. So if you talked with colleagues in Germany or in UK, you just submit your paper and you actually don't need to present it. But here we practice and still do that. I don't know from where that comes, but you actually have to present. So it can be a bit nerve-wracking, even though, but it's always all right. But you know, the students, they worry, but that requirement is there. And if it's academic masters, then it's just master thesis. But other than that, there are no other sort of requirements from program to program. Everyone has to do their master thesis. And if the program had the internship, that they need to as well prepare the internship report. Nothing else specific is required.
Okay, thank you.
And as for the entry requirements, then some of the masters, they require specific background. Let's say if anyone wants to do computer systems, then that requires that your bachelor has to be in computer systems. But let's say for the cybersecurity engineering, your bachelor has to be in engineering or in science, and it could be any kind of engineering. So they're not specifically asking for the IT background. As well, for the business studies, entrepreneurship and management, that's a science master's, and that requires as well that your bachelor's is in business administration, commerce, or something business related. With the bachelor in arts or in engineering, you wouldn't be allowed to be admitted in that particular master. So some of the degrees, they require very specific background. Some of them, as I explained, they're cross-disciplinary, so that you can, with any various backgrounds, you can get the admission. And as for the bachelor's, then we ask for your high school certificate. In America, you pass your SATs. And that's it. We don't ask for anything else. You mentioned Germany. We have 12 years high school, like schooling. We don't ask for that any additional foundation or any additional extra year. As let's say, if you finish your high school in US and you qualify for the admission at the US university, then you will qualify for the admission here in at the RTU as well. So there are now specific requirements. Our English language requirement is level B2, but as if they are native speakers, then obviously then they do not asked to prove the English language knowledge. If you get applications from students who are from India, from China, then they would need to, then actually they submit their degree certificate that the studies were in English. So that is sufficient. Then they don't need to pass any IELTS or TOEFL or anything like that to prove knowledge of English. And then the campus, as I said, it's in Tiepsala on an island. And here you can see all the buildings, like these tall buildings, those are the dorms. And our dorms are organized like a 3-room apartments. So you have your 3 rooms there. And for those 3 rooms, then you have the kitchen and you have your bathroom facilities. Everything is in the apartment. The rooms are double shared, but it's possible as well to get a single rooms. But that means that, let's say, the maximum capacity of that one apartment would be 6. Or if it's 1 person staying in the room, then still those 3 people would need to share the kitchen. They share all the bathroom facilities there. because in some schools, they have sort of a standard dorms, which used to be here as well in the Soviet times, that you have a building, long corridor, and then rooms going to each side, and then one big kitchen. We don't have those buildings anymore, so ours are organized differently. And if you look here, then the rest, these are the faculty buildings. Then we have as well design factory, we have lab house, we have here a huge shopping mall for them. So in the slippers, they go to the mall to get their groceries. They have a food court in there as well. So if they don't want to cook in the dorms, they go and eat here. As well, we have dining options within the faculty building. So that's another option for them. And then here at the back, we have the swimming pool. It's Olympic-sized swimming pool, so that's as well only 2 minutes away from the dorms, so they can use that. And the gym would be in there as well. And here behind those trees, that's River Daugava. So in the summer, right now, they have a beach there as well, which they can use throughout the summer. So location-wise, I'd say perfect location around. It's green. Everything is very nearby. You don't need to commute anywhere. You don't really lose time on anything like that. And as we are engineering university, then we have lots of different labs here, because students are required to use that throughout every single course they take within the engineering studies. So we have specifically one building here for the full with the various different labs for them, as well as a design factory. There is the concept that like a workshop that they can go there, use different services. That all is included in the tuition fees. So all what they use here, we don't charge them anything extra. Yeah, do
And
you
Zane,
have
it seems, I'm marveling at the campus layout you just described. First of all, it sounds exceptional. Your facilities sound very modern, and frankly, I don't hear any discrepancy between what you offer and the accommodations and anything American students would experience at the very best American university, laid out with the student experience in mind. Richard, I'm sure you agree with that.
Yeah, no, I mean, when you described the Soviet style dorms, that's more what we're accustomed to in a lot of universities. Yeah. So
Yeah,
that sounds
now there are
quite nice.
lots of stereotypes out there. Just last week, we were hosting many of colleagues for our 160th anniversary, and they walked throughout our campus, and they were like, wow, this is more like Scandinavia rather than the Eastern Bloc, what you tend to expect to see. But our campus is new. Some of the buildings been built from scratch, and it's all now been completed, fully refurbished, including the dorms. So everything is very modern when you look at the facilities. So I haven't been to that many campuses in US, but I've been to many around the world. And this is when you walk through the campus with your guests, finally you can, feel proud showing them around, because I started here in 2000s when nothing was here. So throughout these 22 years, I can really see the change. And initially, you show the Soviet blocks and you think, oh my God, how do I sell this to people? I'm ashamed, but now it's all very different. So you're welcome to visit, and you can.
Well, to Richard's point, there are a lot of American universities, in spite of what American universities often charge, that have decrepit, what you refer to as Soviet style facilities. So it's remarkable to see what an opportunity American students have at RTU to experience something perhaps much nicer even than they would get to experience here in the United States.
And I think that here probably they would get a more personalized approach as well. Professors are a lot more accessible because professors teach themselves. There's not that it's always just assistant and you never get to see the professor. They involve students as well if they are capable into the research projects, and they can assist in the labs. So they are as well seeking out good students, and they involve and keep them on the campus as well in that regard. So if you are willing and you are interested in what you do, then there are a lot more opportunities as well here, I would say, and probably the competition is not that high as it would be back in US. So I mentioned many various labs, library. We have a career center as well. As I said, students are allowed to work full and part-time work. And then we have a person who assists them as well. We have the companies we've listed who recruit international students. So the only language requirement would be English. And they're not required to know Latvian. So then pretty much like they can use our center as well for them to help to find the work. Large university offering different types of sports here. They can join any of the, as well, we have professional teams, so they just can join any sports for fun, and that's all included again in the fees that even though the fees are only 3,000 euros, we don't charge anything extra if they want to do sports or they want to join any of the interest groups that we have, dancing, singing, and many various activities. And here the accommodation, this is how the rooms look like. Towers, and then that would be overlooking as well the city center, old town of Riga city. It's like your 3-star type of accommodation if you look at the hotel. And we have 2 intakes, whether they start their studies in autumn or they can start their studies in spring as well. And then we start our classes in September. Then we complete classes just before Christmas. Then it's 2 weeks Christmas break. And January, they resume back to finish their exams. And as from February, then the spring semester would start. They finish their classes around 20th of June. And then July, August, that's our summer holiday. We don't do, it's just the summer schools. You can do short-term courses in the summer, but then regular classes again would resume back from September.
And Zane, you mentioned it sounds like the university experience is certainly optimized for English speakers. What is the surrounding community experience like? Is English widely or almost universally spoken in Riga, or what can an American anticipate in terms of needing to learn the local language to be able to get around?
Well, in Riga, I would say not just in Riga and Latvia, English is widely spoken, because being a small country, everyone has to speak well, we all speak 3 languages. So it's in Latvian, obviously, then English, some German, some Russian. Myself, I speak Russian. And if you approach, like, let's say someone elderly, 60 years and plus, then you may have a problem that they wouldn't speak English. But anyone like a young generation, English is anywhere. Now they all time follow the movies and music, everything is in English. And there's sort of this, when you hear them speak, then they say 5 words in English, 3 words in Latvian. Sort of the trend appeared between the age group 15 to 20, that it's quite strange actually to hear them speak. Like when I grew up, we wouldn't mix languages like that, that you sort of, if you speak Latvian, you speak Latvian only, but they have this way of mixing English and Latvian. And you can see that obviously that there's all the American TV, British TV available